Man, if you're a young person, you would benefit from hanging out with an older crowd. You know, I'm joking about this, but in all honesty, you would benefit from hanging out with people of different ages. Hang out with people your age, but also hang out with an older crowd. If you have the chance to do so, please do it. It will enrich your life. It will make you a better person. This is not a prescription for everybody. This is not a cure for your life problems. This will supplement your life. It will make you have a more rich and meaningful life experience. The intergenerational bond is something that I cannot describe in words, but many have said about this. Many have said that the youth today lack a role model in their life because they don't necessarily hang out with the older generation. They have no respect for older people. And the gurus online, the people that we look up to nowadays, are kids, teenagers, on TikTok, on YouTube. Hell, I even feel guilty because I'm guilty of doing this, man. I've looked up to people younger than me, people my age. That is not necessarily a bad thing. People can teach you a thing or two. Everybody can teach you a thing or two. But in order to have that rich life experience, it's something that you cannot gain from, just reading books and learning stuff online. You need to live it. And older people are an example of that. They've lived their lives. So do hang out with them. Why did I mention this? I mentioned this because I was hanging out with my dad today. And my dad and my mom are both elderly people, and they've had a long, successful marriage. Now, it's not perfect by any means. Any sort of relationship, any couple would have had their fair share of arguing, of bickering, of fighting. My dad never really hit my mom, and my mom never really verbally abused my dad. No one actually abused anyone. They did raise their voices at each other, and I was privileged enough to witness such things. But my dad never hit my mom, and my mom never hit my dad. They just argue. They just raise their voices at each other. They disagree on a lot of things, and they are very different from each other. They do share some values, but they are fundamentally very different people. My mom is an extrovert, and my dad is very much an introvert, like me. Anyways, my mom is now back in Vietnam, and my dad is still here with me. And this morning I hung out with him, and we had a chat over breakfast. And yeah, we basically talked about eternal life. I know, pretty deep stuff for a morning talk, but we do that a lot. I feel completely comfortable talking about this sort of stuff to my dad. Yeah, he's that sort of parent, I cannot bring this up with my mom because she would go off on tangents and start lecturing me about respecting your elders and your ancestors, and there's no such thing as God. My dad, he doesn't believe in God either, but he doesn't really care if I do. I do disagree with my dad on a lot of things, but I can feel that he's very open-minded and he's open to different interpretations and ways of life. And that's how my dad and my mom can stay together. You cannot have two people who always think that their way is the way and it's their way or the highway. You need to have some sort of compromise, If my dad and my mom have both been really hot-headed, stubborn people, then this marriage is not going to work. And I am the result of their marriage. They are still together because my dad tolerated my mom and my mom tolerated my dad. They had to compromise. And yeah, this morning my dad and we talked about eternal life. And my dad is very much a Buddhist. I asked him, what is the end goal for people who follow Buddha? And he said, we don't really have such thing as heaven per se, but in order for you to reach the highest state, you need to escape this vicious cycle of reincarnation. So in Buddhism, after you die, if you have not reached enlightenment, you will be reincarnated as someone else or as something else, an animal perhaps. And your existence is suffering. So what you want to do is you do not want to exist ever again. You need to escape this cycle. That's how you reach enlightenment. You have to let go of everything. You must not need anything. You must not want anything. Only then you can escape this cycle and be truly enlightened. And I talked about the heaven to him. We sort of talked back and forth about this idea. And then my dad said something to me. Son, in Western countries, people really put value on doing stuff in order to feel happy. When people ask each other how they are going, they ask, did you get up to much over the weekend? Where did you go? Did you travel somewhere? Did you go to this place? Did you attend this event? Whereas in other Eastern countries, people, especially in the monastery and monks and people who truly follow the way of the Buddha, they would ask each other, did you get much rest? Are you feeling at peace with your life? And I don't hear this stuff in Australia. I don't hear this stuff in Western countries. It makes me think, hey, hang on. Is doing stuff really the key to happiness? Do I have to always be doing stuff? Do I need to get more money, doing more, be at this place, travel the world, do this, do that? Why can't I be content with where I am? Why can't I be content with the simple things in life? And talking to my dad makes me realize it's not always about doing things. Sometimes not doing things can give you happiness. And I mean it. And there's another quote I want to share. If you're always doing too much for people, they will remember your hands, not your heart. As always, stay strong. God bless. I love you all. And I wish all the best for you. Have faith in God. I have complete faith in God and the plan that God has for you. Stay strong, my friends.